Hi, I'm Amanda Bevacqua. This is my aligning objectives with assessments that I have made in Nearpod. This slide just explains what alignment means, and you can just read it. This one explains why should assessments, learning objectives, and instructional strategies be aligned. It goes into learning objectives, assessments, and instructional strategies in a little bit more depth. This following slide talks about the aligned design, about how learning objectives goes into assessments, the assessments going into learning and teaching activities, and how learning objectives work. This following slide is a video. As the video plays, I have put in here different questions that they could answer as they go through, just to make sure that they are listening to the video as it goes on. The next slide is this lovely picture that I love about how learning objectives work, how on top you see one thing and underneath there's a whole bunch of different things that go into the learning objectives. And then I added another quiz. So this explains which is not a learning objective. So the student would pick, of course, Taylor Swift is not a learning objective, but if they choose, they could pick her. So they would pick which ones were not a learning objectives, and then they would go to the next slide. And here we have a fill in the blanks. So they would just pick a word and put it into the spots and see if they were done. The following slide is an area where they can just input an image and type what assessment they would use. So they can just share their thoughts. So here are my thoughts with an image, because images are fun, and we can just search for it in Google. So I'll just look for a question mark. I will save it, and here are my thoughts. So the students would make sure they were logged in just so they can get credit. And the following slide is where I have added additional sources. So these are areas I have found some things and some information that I found for the slide itself. So I hope you enjoyed my Nearpod screencast.